Hi, welcome back to my YouTube page. The topic of today is going to be self-love, what that looks like, what that is, and how important that is, and my tips on how to properly love yourself. First, I'm going to talk about what self-love is. Self-love is essentially feeling good about yourself, saying good, positive things about yourself, and essentially looking at yourself in a positive light and accepting your good qualities as well as accepting your bad qualities, accepting the qualities of good about you that are positive as well as negative, and being able to just navigate this world in a positive mindset. It's basically looking at yourself the way God looks at you. How does God view you? How does God see you? So let's go ahead and dive into the importance of self-love. Self-love is very important because if you don't have proper self-love, it can affect your career. It can affect how you view yourself. It can affect how you approach relationships with other people. It also can affect just your everyday to day. Are you exuding confidence, or are you exuding a sense of feeling unsure about yourself, or that you're not worthy or good enough? Because the world, believe it or not, responds to you how you respond to it. If whatever you exude on the inside out, that's how the world responds to you. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give tips on how to love yourself, because people always tell you to love yourself, but no one ever gives you the instructions on how, right? So go ahead and get a pen and pad ready and write some of this stuff down. And I'm also going to give you an exercise to do at the end of this video. And so let's go ahead and get started on my tips. Tip number 1, loving yourself involves enjoying your own company. Being comfortable with just being alone with yourself, alone with your own thoughts, alone with your own ambition, and being okay in your own space. So some people out there, they can't stand to be alone, even just for 5-10 minutes. They have to always be around people. They can't grasp or fathom being alone in a room by themselves for long periods of time, and that speaks to a lack of self-love. And also too, it speaks to maybe they don't want to hear their own thoughts when they're alone. Sometimes when people are alone, they have negative thoughts about themselves that creep up. They have things that come up in the past that they may have done, said, or whatever, or they have guilt associated with things they might have done in the past, and they don't want to entertain that. Or they might have past traumas from childhood or teenage years or even adulthood that might creep up in their mind and replays. So they want to just get out of that headspace, and they don't want to be in their own company. Now, how I say to overcome that is, when those thoughts come, write all those thoughts out. Write all those thoughts out. Every negative thought that comes to mind, write it out, and then write a counter thought that is contrary to that particular thought that came to mind. So if the thought came to mind that you're unworthy, then you need to write a thought that says, I'm worthy because, or I am valuable because, or I don't deserve. You write the opposite thought, I deserve this because. Because the reason why I'm saying to do that is because there's a lot of things going on in the subconscious mind that needs to be addressed. Conscious thought is your own thoughts of what you hear on a daily basis. I'm hungry. I need to go and do laundry. I need to go eat. I need to go pick up my dry cleaning. Those are all conscious thoughts that you hear, but the subconscious thoughts are the thoughts that you really don't hear sometimes, and that really, the subconscious is a very, very controlling membrane in our lives. The subconscious is what we are trying to reprogram. Also, guys, I'm just gonna just go on a side note here, and I'm gonna just speak from the heart on this, and just kind of disregard my notes for a minute. Um, Stop trying to find love. I don't know who I'm speaking to when they watch this video, but stop trying to find love. Stop it. Let love come to you and let you become love. If you become love, love will naturally attract itself. The very thing you chase always runs away from you because you're chasing it. Just receive it. Love is to be received, not chased. So if you're one of those people that are chasing love or trying to find love outside yourself, stop it. You are lovable. You are likable. God loves you. You are love. So if you already are, there is no need to chase something outside of yourself because you just are. So I hope that helps whoever needed to hear that. I really do. But that's what I wanted to get on out in this video. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get back to my notes. Number 2, people who love themselves forgive themselves. And they're not so critical on the mistakes that they have or possess. What I mean by that is, if you have an insecurity or a flaw that you feel like needs to be addressed, like let's say for instance you're struggling with your weight, or you don't feel good about your body, or you last semester you really bummed a class and you just can't forgive yourself for it. I'm here to tell you, forgive yourself. No one's perfect. And the goodness that we have in us, we need to celebrate those qualities and be less critical of the negative qualities about ourselves, because we all have good and bad qualities. And anything that you want that you don't feel good about yourself, you can change. So if it's your weight, you can just ask God for help on how to lose weight, eat properly, take better care of yourself. If it's school, you can just say, okay, I didn't do good this semester. That's fine. I'll just do better the next semester, and I'm going to learn from the mistakes I made. Maybe I didn't study enough. Maybe I didn't devote enough time and attention to that particular class. Or maybe I got distracted with outside stressors. Whatever it is, just forgive yourself for making that particular flaw and just grow from it. Don't beat yourself up. People who love themselves are not overly critical of themselves. Number 3, celebrate your accomplishments. Give yourself credit. Seriously. One thing that I even have a hard time doing is celebrating my own accomplishments. I sometimes even downplay what accomplishments I've accomplished, because it's like I just don't cognitively think about it. I just feel like accomplishments are accomplishments. But you need to celebrate how far you've come and be proud of the person that God has made you today, right? And we've all accomplished something. So don't just say, oh, I haven't accomplished anything in my life. I would challenge you to write down at least 1 or 2 things that you've accomplished and that you can be proud of, right? Number 5, make a vision board. I have a vision board that I'm making again. A new vision board I'm making. I'm in the process of making that again. And I'll maybe do a separate video on that. But a vision board is a board that you make that shows where you're trying to be in the future, and it also celebrates where you are in the now, right? So make a vision board so you can work towards a goal or where you're trying to go. Number 5, trust your own instincts. Don't engage in self-doubt. If God tells you something in your heart of hearts, and you know that He's telling you in your heart of hearts that, or you don't feel good about a person or even a situation like a job or whatever, you don't feel like this is where God wants you to be, then you need to trust that instinct, because it's God protecting you. So just make sure you trust your own instincts and make sure that you have a good feeling about it. If you don't, walk away from it and love yourself enough to walk away from something that's not good for you. And then number 6, take care of yourself, okay? Eat good food, drink lots of water, and get some daily exercise in. This is what I'm working on currently because I'm not the best with taking good care of my body. And I've dealt with depression, I've dealt with anxiety, I've dealt with not feeling good about myself. And this is something that this is my last step that I'm working towards, right? So ladies, just and guys too, if any guys happen to be watching this video, because these self-love tips go for men and women, just these are my steps and my tips that I'm giving you on how to love you, accept you, and just take some time and to pour into you, and you're worth it. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to my video and coming through. Please like my video, subscribe, and leave a comment if you wish. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Bye.